Hi, my name's Simon Lancaster. I'm Director of Special Projects and Training. Obviously I come from Australia and we're here on day 4 of the Closed Personal Protection course presented by Empire Protection. We're about to take the students inside. We're going to go through some back briefing from the advances and the practical advances that they've done over the last few days. And we're also going to have a business discussion about the ins and outs and some of the details about running a close protection business or operating as an individual in the close protection industry. So some of the business management topics that we like to include, we start right from the beginning of a job coming in from a potential client or provider, how we assess our capabilities, an individual or a company to be able to carry out that role, what processes we go through in order to quote that job effectively so we are able to carry out our taskings, and some things like logistics, how we're hiring cars, welfare pieces on our teams, and all those little bits and pieces that are often overlooked in the planning cycle to be able to carry out a close protection role. We'll also talk to the team about how to invoice for a job once it's done, how we keep track of expenses, and all those little business aspects that are often, I guess, overlooked in this industry, yet are critical for you to be able to carry out the job and make sure that everything goes according to plan. For the driving aspect of today, we've got some fantastic vehicles here. We've got an Escalade, we've got a Tahoe, got a Suburban. We've got the typical vehicles that a CP team is likely to use when they go on task. One of the aspects about our role and our beliefs coming from Empire Institute is that we need to train how we would deliver a service. So we're not going to be out on a skid pan today, but we are driving these luxury cars around so people get to understand the dynamics and the nuances within each of these vehicles. We also do vehicle familiarisation with each of the students over each of these vehicles back here, so they have a total working knowledge of how all those vehicles operate, how to repair them, if there's a flat tyre, how do you deal with that, how to first parade vehicles and make sure everything's set up and ready to go. Once we've gone through that, we're going to take our team over to a parking lot that we've identified which is suitable, and we're going to go through some movements with vehicles. We're going to go through an M bus and D bus, which is essentially getting in and out of the car with your client. We'll go through 1 car, 2 car, 3 car, and how that looks. We'll also start to touch on some actions on in the case of emergency. So if there's a breakdown, if there's some kind of hostile action, how do we deal with our client and keep them safe? So we'll be looking at doing some cross-decking, movements in and out of venues, and then we'll also start looking at how we drive as a unit. We do offer a driving package. However, in this course here, we're going to get the exposure to the students how to drive comfortably, right? Because that's critical to the client being happy and enjoying their time. How we maneuver with a team. So if we've got 2 or 3 cars, where do we put those clients? How do you drive to make the journey as smooth and as relaxing as possible for that client in the client car? We'll be taking the team out, we'll be driving around the local area, we'll be putting them under some different conditions, so whether it be freeways with a little bit more speed, some tighter streets, stop signs, traffic lights, some more congestion and some open roads as well, so they get to apply those principles and skill sets across the whole scope that you're likely to find in your day-to-day role as a CP agent. Once we complete that for the day, the students are going to receive their warning order from the client. They will be briefed that tomorrow, being day 5, that they have a full mission profile looking after some high net worth or celebrity individuals, and this afternoon they're going to start that planning process. There's a whole lot involved in that. We'll go through delivering that first piece of information. We get them to deliver us a quote for the proposed services. We want a bit of a back brief from them, and then we'll go through the process of having a client interview with the team. That way they've got a chance to confirm any requests for information they may have, hopefully set themselves up for success over the next day, and go through the processes that you would normally do in terms of making sure your logistics are sorted out, you've done any advances, whether they be digital, dynamic or full, where you can, assign roles and responsibilities to team members, and also make sure that they come up with a complete and comprehensive operational order. so the team have an understanding of their concept of operations, how they're going to carry out the day coming up, and set themselves up in the best position they possibly can to have a fantastic day. So it should be quite an interesting day today. We're very much looking forward to it, and getting pretty excited for the full mission profile coming in tomorrow as well.